broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studios in Houston, Texas. It's time for Houston Business Radio. Now, here's your host.
Hello, Houston. Trisha Stetzel here, bringing you another episode of Houston Business Radio. Today's guest is Michael Agri, a seasoned technology advisor with North Atlantic Consultants. For more than a decade, Michael has been a trusted partner to organizations navigating the complex world of IT, telecom, and cybersecurity. He helps businesses find the right solutions for VoIP, voice over IP, for those of you who are not technology inclined, for those phone systems, internet connectivity, managed IT support, cloud services, and security, all with unbiased advice and no cost to his clients. Michael is passionate about building community through networking and events like his annual Tech at the Park, and he's here to share how smart tech choices can save time, money, and stress. Michael, welcome to the show.
What an awesome introduction. Thank you, Trisha.
You're
Appreciate
very welcome. You know, I like to do this because we don't do it ourselves. So it's nice to hear all of these amazing things, right?
Right.
I'm so excited to have you on the show today. And, you know, technology, even before we get started, number one, it's a bear. You probably hear that all the time. Where do I go? How do I do this? Before we dive into all of the technical stuff, Michael, tell us a little bit more about you and how you serve your clients.
Yeah, so technology is a big word, right? When you hear the word technology advisor, you're like, well, what aspect of technology? And what we do as a trusted advisor is we're experts that help businesses choose, implement, and manage the right technology to help improve their operations and reduce costs. And I'm partnered with a couple what's called TSDs, which stands for Technology Solutions Distributors. And what these folks do is they give people like myself access to hundreds of providers. And these are some of the biggest technology providers in the world: Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Ring Central, Vonage. You could go on and on. And what we do as advisors is we're independent, and we judge these providers and rank these providers and score them based on, I would say the biggest indicator would be customer satisfaction. We typically will bring clients to providers that exceed expectations and providers that are very good at delivering what they say they can. Because I think we've all been there, either as a business owner or if you've been in business. If you make the wrong technology decision, it can set you back years, can set you back financially, it can wreak havoc on your time and resources. So we specialize in helping our business clients get that decision right the first time.
Okay, so Michael, how did you get into this technology space in the first place? What drew you here?
There's an old saying that I love. It's never be afraid to steal a good idea. And I worked, my old boss right out of college had started doing this on his own, and he had been doing it for 5 or 6 years and was incredibly successful. And I wanted everything he had. You know, I was a top salesman for a local telecom company up in New England, and but what he had was what I wanted, which was his own business. No boss, no quota, nobody breathing down your neck, right? And I wanted that type of freedom. And I just called him up one day and said, look, I want to do what you're doing. And I would love to take you out to dinner at your favorite restaurant and just ask you a bunch of questions and bring my notebook and see if I can kind of replicate what you've done. And he was happy to help. And that's really kind of where I got started. And that was 16 years ago.
Wow, amazing. Congratulations, number one, on making that decision. It can be very scary to move from a corporate paid position to being an entrepreneur. What do you find was the biggest struggle for you over the last 16 years of working for yourself, which is what you were so passionate about?
Well, in our industry, as technology advisors, it's always that first 24 to 36 months. It's a commission-only job. You get paid by the providers only when you make a sale. And if you're talking about, a CRM system or a phone system or a network, these take months for the clients to review and, either do an RFP, compare, and search and redo the research. And then once they make a decision, it takes months for it to get implemented. And then you get paid after the first bill's paid. Well, now 7 months has gone by. So it takes an incredibly long time to start getting to a point where you can pay your bills. And for me, took about 3 years. And that's always the biggest challenge in this industry is having that runway to get to that point.
Hmm. So from a technology perspective, you gave us a summary of what a technology advisor is. What types of clients do you serve? Can you give us some examples there?
Yeah, typically the two biggest for me is healthcare and banking. Um, they're two areas that are heavily regulated that require they have specific needs. And and those are two areas that benefit enormously by having someone like myself. Um,
Okay.
so those are two areas, but really we can help any business,
Mm.
regardless of size, regardless of geography. And there's a lot of people that do what I do. Every year they estimate that there's in between 5 to 10,000 new technology advisors just starting their practices.
Mm. All right. So we're just going to have to take a deeper dive into this term technology advisor. You gave us an overview. I understand the clients that you want or do serve, but what exactly is it that you do? And by the way, I had no idea that there were thousands of technology advisors out there. So tell me more.
Well, think of us like insurance agents, okay? Some insurance agents are independent and they can give you multiple quotes and they can say, well, Travelers is a much better opportunity for you than not Aflac, but Liberty Mutual, right? And here's why. And that's really what we do, only we do that with technology. And our job is to help our clients find the best providers, the best technology and services that fits their needs, and then the best price. And we spend an incredible amount of time working with providers and subject matter experts to really kind of net out who are the best providers, what are the best technologies, and how do we get the best price. The providers themselves are what's called cost neutral, which means if you were to call up Microsoft or you were to call up Ring Central on your own and do the research with a direct sales rep, that best price from that direct sales rep cannot be better than the best price for me. So there's no advantage no disadvantage to going through us as opposed to direct. But the advantage of going through someone like a technology advisor is huge because there's no cost to you, but you're getting an incredible amount of knowledge. And you're getting a lot of inside information as to what are the products and services that are out there that are really helping move the needle for some of their competitors and a lot of other businesses out there.
So I want to throw this one at you, and I'm going to bring up AI because all of us have been asked the same question. Is AI going to take your job away? And I have my own answer about coaching. It's not, because you have to have a human help hold you accountable. How do you see AI as a number one, as a benefit for technology advisors? And is there this thought in your space, in your business, that AI, some business owner can just use AI to figure out? the information that you would be delivering as a technology advisor?
Yeah, and I think that's a great question. And in my opinion, AI is just a tool. And as humans, we're tool makers. That's what we do. And what AI does is it helps us become more efficient. It helps us become faster at answering questions and solving problems. And businesses right now, I mean, the conversations that I'm having is, how can we use this technology to get better at what we're doing and to get better at helping our clients. And I'll tell you what, I mean, it's in its infancy, so we're just getting started, but there are a lot of things right now that are happening that are giving businesses an advantage.
Mhm.
And trying to make sense of that all is hard to do on your own. You could do some Google searching and you could definitely do some research, but I have access to dozens of subject matter experts, including some of the brightest minds in customer experience and AI in the industry, and can even bring them on the phone with these clients to share not just success stories, but things that are really happening in real time that might be able to help them.
Yeah, I love that. There's no replacement. That's the bottom line, right? At least not now. We've got to have that human interaction. And gosh, you can tap into so many resources that you've built relationships with over the last 16 years, which is so important, those relationships. Okay, we're about halfway through our conversation. I know people are already interested in connecting with you, Michael, either to learn more about what you can help them with, or even just to learn more about what technology advisors do. What is the best way for them to connect with you?
I'm very easy to find because I have a unique last name. My first name is Michael, and my last name is spelled Agri. There's only two of us alive in the United States. We're both in Florida, amazingly. But you'll easily find me, and I'm very active on LinkedIn. So make
Mhm.
sure to, if interested, make sure to connect.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Michael. And that's how I found you, was on LinkedIn. That's how we connected
Mhm.
originally.
Yeah.
So I love to dive into business networking. I
Mhm.
believe that it's very important, and so do you, which is why we're here today, because we were networking and trying to expand our network. So, what are the benefits of business networking, particularly when you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to grow your business?
Oh, um, it really didn't hit me until later in life. I didn't really start networking until about 7 years ago. And what it was I we had moved from Boston to Florida, the Boston area to be exact, to the suburbs. And when we did, it was nice, kind of not really knowing anyone, but after a while, it got old, and it was a little lonely, I didn't have any friends. And my wife said to me one day, she said, you got to go out there and do something, and so I did. I went and I joined the local chamber of commerce, and I joined a local networking group called BNI, and I just went into it with really no no expectations, right? I wasn't there to try to like go find business, right? I was just there to make friends and help in really any way I could, and in doing so, it took time, but within a couple of years, my business was really taking off, and it really hit me that God, you had missed out for years on this. You could have been doing this a long time ago, but the way I was kind of trained as a salesperson was all cold calling. It was all prospecting. There was no relationship building, and but relationship building absolutely is the foundation of success. And it works. Not only does it works shockingly well, in my opinion.
Mhm. I'm a big fan of referral marketing on purpose. I spent 15 years in BNI across two businesses, and I had this same feeling when I first joined. It was because I didn't have any community and I had a business. I was working from home, and there were no other human beings besides my husband and my son in the house. And it really was about building relationships. And what I found is the same thing that you did. You can build a business through referral marketing, and you don't have to cold call or hot knock, right? Go knocking on doors to meet people. And I love that. It served me very well in my first business as well as this one in the coaching space. So I want to know a little bit more about Tech at the Park. Can we talk about that?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
we can. Okay. So go ahead. What's your question?
Yeah, tell me more about it. I want to know everything about Tech at the Park, when it is, if it's still happening this year, if it happens every year. What does that look like and who goes?
Yeah, so this was our first year. And I all right, so I had never thought about throwing a client appreciation event ever until February when my Spectrum business channel manager, we met for breakfast and he said, you have over 100 clients with us today in the county. How about we throw, this is just an idea, but how about we throw a client appreciation event and we sponsor it? And I'd never thought about that, but it reminded me of 6 or 7 years ago. I did a similar event at a Top Golf in Orlando, and nobody showed up. It was like two or three people showed up. It was incredibly embarrassing. And I swore to myself, I'm like, I'm never doing anything like this ever again. But what had changed when he asked me that question was I had 6 years of experience in event planning with the local chamber. At this point, I had a lot of experience, and I also have a couple hundred clients in the county. So I thought to myself, well, I think I can get people there for sure. And so I reached out to the local minor league ball club. It's the Cincinnati Reds organization. It's called the Daytona Tortugas, and we set up a private event. They have just one private area it's on the right field corner that fits about 200 people. And we got about 150 of our clients and sales partners to come out for a night at the ballpark. And we gave out some really, really cool prizes. We gave out an iPad and one of those Yeti roller coolers. It's like a $500 cooler, which I would never spend that on for myself. But it was fun. There were a lot of kids that came, and honestly, the funnest part was we had special gift bags just for the kids. And the Daytona Tortugas actually gave us game jerseys and hats for the kids, which was incredible. And I mean, I had a lot of fun, and I think everyone else had a lot of fun. But the one complaint that I heard, it gets so dang hot here in Florida. It was like 94 degrees that day. Luckily, it was in the evening, so it got cooler. But I think next year we're going to do it either earlier or later in the season.
Okay, that's amazing. So you guys keep your ears and your eyeballs open for Tech at the Park in 2026
That's right.
under Michael's LinkedIn. I'm sure it will be all over. Tell me the benefit of for you and even for your clients of doing something like that, having a client appreciation event.
Ooh, to me, I just feel like the luckiest person in the world to be able to do what I'm doing. It's so much fun. And I just, I don't know how to say it any other way. I'm just super appreciative and thankful of every single one of my clients because I wouldn't be here without them. And it was really my way of just saying thank you, and without you all, I would have to go out there and get a real job, and I don't want to do that. So it was just my way of saying thank you, and the most important thing for me was to shake everyone's hand that was there and personally thank them for either their partnership or their business.
That's beautiful. And I love that you're giving back to your clients. So, for the listeners, if you guys haven't thought about doing something like this, you can do it on a really small scale or a very large scale. To start working on it and show your appreciation to your clients in some way. Michael, do you think that you created a space for your clients to network with each other with this event?
I think that was like the funnest part was introducing some of my clients to other clients and seeing them make friendships, right? It was. And also introducing some of my business partners because these are all technology people within technology, right? Like one of my partners specializes in payment systems, and another one specializes in websites. And it was great to connect all of them because they can help each other as well. So yeah, it is a little bit of community building in a sense for sure.
You're a giver. That's why BNI is it
Yeah.
suits you, it suits me, right? Because the motto there is givers gain. And that's really what it's all about. Let's give to the community, particularly when we're asking the community to support us as business owners. All right, Michael, I have one final question for you as we get to the back end of our conversation. Will you share an example of how the right technology solution transformed one of your clients' businesses or even their business operation?
Yeah, very interesting story. I got a call. It was really late at night. I had just put my kids to bed. It was almost 9 p.m. and it was on my work line. And I thought that was strange. It went to voicemail. It was a CEO of a really large call center here in Florida. And for 7 weeks, their call acceptance rate went from 24% to 0%. So nobody was answering their calls. And after asking him a few questions, we realized that what had happened was his outgoing caller ID for their phone numbers was being labeled as spam. And when that happens to you, nobody answers the phone.
Yeah.
And his salespeople went from making tens of thousands of dollars a month to zero. And he was at a point of desperation where the salespeople were getting ready to walk out the door and they were going to lose the company. And he said, "What in the world can we do?" And I amazingly, I just knew exactly what he needed, and he needed a caller ID reputation provider to help him fix that. And the very next morning, I had him on the phone with that provider and with his leadership team, and we had a plan in motion, and we had a contract within 24 hours. And within just a few days, that issue was resolved.
Wow. That's amazing. What a difference a day makes. And a Michael, a day and a Michael. That's awesome. Michael, thank you so much. It's been a great conversation. You have so much information. Stored somewhere, and I appreciate you bringing it to my audience. And I know that they definitely want to connect with you and learn more or understand more. And even those of you referral marketers out there, refer some connections to Michael. So Michael, would you give your contact information one more time as we close today?
Yeah, sure. You can reach me on LinkedIn. It's Michael, last name Agri, Agri. My phone number is 386-478-4993. And yeah, Trisha, thank you so much for having me. This is so much fun.
I'm so glad that you joined me today. You guys know that I'll put Michael's contact information in the show notes. All you have to do is point and click. So long as you're not driving and you're sitting in front of your computer, if you're driving, you can jot that information down later. Michael, thank you again. I really appreciate you being with me today.
My
That's
pleasure.
all
Have
the
a good one.
Thank you. That's all the time we have for today. If you found value in this conversation that I had with Michael, please share it with fellow entrepreneurs, veterans, or a Houston leader ready to grow. Be sure to follow, rate, and review the show. It helps us reach more bold business minds just like yours. Your business, your leadership, and your legacy are built one intentional step at a time. So stay inspired, stay focused, and keep building the business and the life you deserve.